Hey, Discover. It's time to break down the essentials of maintaining a balanced gut microbiome and reveal its profound impact on your overall well-being. From diet and lifestyle tips to understanding the intricate connections between your gut, brain, and immune system, this episode offers actionable insights to help you nurture your gut for a healthier life. Transform your life and secure your spot in the collective's inner circle today. Imagine unlocking your full potential with a collective, an exclusive wellness community where your journey to optimal health is supported every step of the way. Join the waiting list at thediscoverydoc.com and gain insider status, giving you access to invaluable resources, expert guidance, and exclusive perks reserved for our most committed members. Here's what you'll gain by signing up now. Priority updates. Be the first to receive updates on our launch and upcoming transformative events, ensuring you stay ahead on your path to wellness. Exclusive insider tips. Receive powerful, actionable wellness strategies directly to your inbox, empowering your journey every day. And special offers and early access. Secure exclusive deals and early entry into the collective so you never miss an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Act now. The spots are limited. Visit thediscoverydoc.com and click Become an Insider to claim your spot on our waiting list. Don't wait. Welcome back to the Discovery Doc podcast. I'm your host, medical mystery overachiever Annah Kate, alongside my co-host, Dr. CeCe, Doctor of Nursing Practice. Grab a cup of tea and your notepad. Whether you're curious about probiotics, the impact of your diet, or how your gut can influence your overall well-being, we've got you covered. Stick around to unravel the complexities of your body's amazing microbiome. Listen to episode 22 of the Discovery Doc podcast for the full conversation. Ready? Let's discover together.
On here shortly. What is your gut microbiome?
Yes.
So what does that entail? And just tell us like why it's important that it's healthy. To have a healthy gut microbiome.
So if you bring it back, I mean, all of us went through like high school biology, right? Or some sort of that sciencey sort of class. So bring it back there. A biome is literally an ecosystem. And it's an ecosystem that is defined by what lives there, but also its environment. So if you think about your gut as its own little tiny little ecosystem, where trillions of microscopic organisms live, that is what our microbiome is. It's literally a mini biome. So
So when she's saying this, all that pops into my brain is that movie Biodome, where it was all perfect. They all had that ecosystem where they could live forever, and then they had three people that came in and disrupted the biodome.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No, but it's a great point.
Yeah. So they come and they do all this stuff and they like mess up their water system and their food system and all kinds of stuff. So I love the movie Biodome. It's like a 90s classic.
I'm the worst with references. I have no idea what you're talking about, but don't feel bad. I don't know any references. Like we'll make a really funny joke and he'll laugh at himself and I'm like, I don't get it. And he's like, of course you don't, because you have no idea what any references are ever. Don't take it personal, but this is a great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm talking, bring that analogy in because that's such a great one. Because mine went to like a garden and like nourishing your garden. I like it was better.
So if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. So if you've seen the movie Biodome back in the 90s, we don't want to have Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin come in and just wreak havoc. So that's what other things that come into your gut microbiome that should not be there. They're not the scientists of your body that are trying to make sure that you have clean water and you can grow your own food and you can live sustainably within your system. But if you have outside invaders come in, it becomes a problem.
Chaos, right? And I think one point in what our microbiome is, I think it's really, really important, and people forget this, that out of those trillions of microorganisms, there are bacteria in there. There are fungi in there, little fungus. There are
guys.
Are you or do you know a mother-to-be? Transform your pregnancy and postpartum journey with the Ultimate Pregnancy and Postpartum Guide. Discover a wealth of essential resources and practical tips for healthy and joyful experience. This 30-page comprehensive guide is packed with must-have supplements, safe healing modalities, nourishing recipes, and expert advice to support you during pregnancy and beyond. This guide includes 2 exclusive bonuses. Bonus number 1, Home Birth Essentials Checklist. Ensure a smooth and stress-free home birth experience. Bonus number 2, Navigating Mastitis Naturally. Explore natural remedies to alleviate discomfort and promote healing. Don't miss out on this invaluable resource. Download the Ultimate Pregnancy and Postpartum Guide today and embrace a holistic approach to motherhood.
Parasites, there are viruses. I think people get so wrapped up in just thinking that our microbiome is made of good bacteria, which it is, but all those other little microorganisms exist too to keep that dome in balance. And I think that's an important fact that people forget. But basically the point of our biome is to, 1, regulate nutrients, of course, helping to absorb nutrients, regulate nutrients, produce nutrients. Also, it regulates hormones very directly. It prevents, kind of like you were saying, it prevents pathogenic or bad guys from entering.
Yeah, we don't want more bad guys than we have good guys. But bad guys are going to be along with the good guys all the time, but we want more good guys than bad guys.
Exactly. And in that sense, it also helps to regulate your immune system. 80% of our immune system lives within our GI tract, which we'll get into in a little bit. So having that balance literally directly impacts your immune function. So then second half of your question was, why is it so important? What does it do? And most of those good guys that you were talking about before have something called a symbiotic relationship. That is a biology word that I never thought I would use ever again in life.
Symbiosis.
Yes, exactly.
It's like a dance. It's a salsa dance.
Exactly. And we're their hosts, and we provide them nutrients and fuel, and they provide and shelter, and they provide services to our body. So that's what a symbiotic relationship is you work synergistically and you benefit each other. So back to what kind of Annah Kate was saying, if you, like my thought went to a garden, and if you nourish your garden and you have correct sunlight and water and nutrients for your plants, those plants are going to grow and then provide you with a service, food, right?
Yum. Good food.
Good foods. But if the soil is depleted or polluted,
or a parasite shows up,
yes, or pests or weeds or anything like that starts to overgrow your garden, then it upsets or disturbs that whole ecosystem.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Yep. And if you're someone like me that has so my immune system is all kinds of wackadoo with all that I'm dealing with. And then I had someone recommend antibiotics, which totally raised my garden. Totally like barren desert.
Weeds.
Yeah,
Raised
like nothing.
Weeds.
Just nothing good there. So why is that important? That if we have to do antibiotics for specific reasons and not long-term, if you're a chronic illness person like me, that you've been to a regular doctor that puts you on long-term antibiotics for Lyme, doesn't do anything but gets the Lyme off. So the spirochetes, that's a different story.
So I actually want to, this is a great question. I want to continue with some little basics, and then that is a bullet point that I absolutely have to talk about, because for me, that starts even in infancy.
Yes.
Where babies and infants under 2 are exposed on average to 6 rounds of antibiotics. And within the first 2 to 3 years of life, that's literally when we build up our gut microbiome.
Right.
So that's a wonderful question, but y'all will have to stay tuned until next episode to hear my answer.
We'll get to it. All of the things. So getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
So what happens when we're trying to, I know we'll go into like putting really good things in and supplements that can help, but what's the basic of how do we love our digestive system to do the things? Because you and I loved our mouths more than we loved our digestive systems this last weekend.
As we're going into gut health topic, Annah Kate and I are sitting here struggling because we both decided to glutenise ourselves, and my stomach hurts so bad. I get so tired. I slept probably 12 hours last night. This chick has more chronic complications from it. But both of us are sitting here.
It was worth it, and it was worth celebrating, and I got to spend some time with my nephews, and so treated them to something they can handle it. But
yeah, I think so. Point. No one's perfect. No one's perfect. You do what you can. But like kind of our garden and our biodome.
I'm gonna show her a clip after this, and you can be like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious."
Yes, your gut microbiome is impacted by positive things like nutrients, but also negative things like pollutants and pests and weeds that it's exposed to. And our gut microbiome goes through seasons of life, so it never is going to look the same. We constantly have to feed it and nourish it in different ways throughout every step of our life, and that looks a little bit different. We'll get into that in the next episode.
And we've already talked about how in what supplements that you use for your family, how you go through that rotation to make sure that everything is. So if you want to know the answer to that, go back and listen to our what we
there said that. I'm not saying it again.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding, guys.
We'll tell you probably 10,000 times.
Very aggressive today. This boy has me aggressive. But one of the biggest things that impacts our microbiome, obviously, is guess. Don't look. What do you think?
What we put in our pie hole?
Yes.
And it can't be pie. I mean, really good pie. I mean, I guess
really, it could be good pie. We're not going down a pie rabbit hole right now. We'll do that for Thanksgiving podcast. Listen.
Yes.
Okay. But yes, it is diet, and we have to nourish kind of the diversity of those microbes, because if you think about it in terms of our garden, right? Every plant needs a little bit of something different to thrive.
Yeah.
Some need to start inside, some need to go outside, some need different elements to grow and be supported. So that the microbes in our GI tract, the good ones, are the same thing. They thrive off of different nutrients and different fibers. So diet diversity is really important.
Yep. And you talked about this. This is one of the things that you kind of preach on all the time, and you actually live this as well, is shortening the distance between where your food is grown and how it ends up on your table. So you've got a garden here. I've got a little garden at my house. I want to make a bigger garden. So that's on my to-do list for next year, is to get that done so I can bring in fresh vegetables and then locally source our proteins, get eggs, local fresh eggs, y'all.
Oh, it's so different.
So good.
They're so good.
And they're orange and they're yummy. They just taste better.
Delicious. Oh my gosh. Yes. But it's so true, because kind of my next point was that a diet filled with synthetic foods or processed sugars, it feeds those bad microbes and depletes the soil that those good microbes are trying to grow from. And so you lose a lot of nutrients in those different stages. That if you're getting your foods from, the grocery store, they have to go through 6 different steps to get to your plate. But if you're going to a local farmer's market, it's likely to be that those foods have much higher nutrients. They haven't lost as much through the processing process.
Yeah. So here in the US, we are food abundant, but nutrient deficient.
Yes.
So just because, there's always a better choice. And if you can grow it at home, great. There's things, if you live in an apartment, you can grow things out on your patio or inside, or there's all kinds of things. So make the choice that you can when you can, and just start making the things that
work for you.
Right. That's the word.
And if you can't, then focus on the whole foods, because I cannot tell you one positive to eating processed nutrient deficient foods, but I could tell you a whole bunch of positives when it comes to nutrient dense foods.
Right.
So start focusing on more of those whole foods, good fats. People get so scared of fat. Don't be scared of fat, but it's a difference of nummy like saturated bacon grease and that goodness, and like an awesome, scrambled eggs with avocado on the side, olive oil poured on top with some pink Himalayan salt. Literally, that's what I want life. Right?
It sounds delicious.
Gosh, I just created my breakfast in my head because I had an apple and a coconut yogurt. Okay. Anyways, the next thing that can impact our gut microbiome are, and Annah Kate said this earlier, chemicals. And this can be, chemicals pollute. Think about your garden again. Chemicals pollute your garden. Your plants will die. So the same is it's the same with our microbe. And this can be anything from alcohol to tobacco to pesticides to pollutants to, any of these toxins that we've talked about in previous.
Medications that aren't, like over-the-counter painkillers and anti-inflammatories. Those can disrupt things. Now, taking them every now and then, probably not a big deal. But if you are chronic and taking them every day, then that becomes a problem.
Yeah. Antibiotics too, which again we'll talk about later, but that wipes out your good bacteria. And the other one are acid blockers. So we get like, I know when I was in high school, I used to pop Tums like it was candy. All the time. And so there's a line, guys. If you have significant acid reflux and you need immediate relief, okay, but you cannot be living on those acid blockers because it does impact your microbiome by changing the pH inside. And so seek out functional medicine providers.
And that goes either way. So it's the valve in your esophagus, there has to be the correct pressure to keep it closed, right? So to lose that pressure can go too much pressure and it opens this way, too little pressure and it drops down, and you get the same result. So knowing, do I have too much acid? Do I have not enough acid? Like that's a big thing. So I'm calling my husband out on that one because we need to get this sorted for him.
It's a huge one.
And he won't eat spicy things because he says it gives him heartburn. And it's like, well, what is it? Is it too much or too
or not the good acid? Like people forget that something like butyric acid is really, really beneficial, and a lot of people who have acid reflux are actually very low in butyric acid. So
go see your functional medicine provider and have that discussion and figure out what you're actually, what that dysbiosis is.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's not a symbiosis.
It's not a symbiosis. The other thing is we talked about diversity with diet, but diversity within those good bacteria is really important as well. And in a healthy microbiome, those different types of microorganisms, they all support each other, just like certain plants cross-pollinate and help each other out, help a sister out there. So do our good bacteria within our GI tract. So we don't want that our garden overtaken by those weeds or our pests. And to do so, we need to keep the diversity of our gut microbiome up, which means the good bacteria up.
How do we get good bacteria?
So I'm a stickler for, not everyone needs to be on probiotics, but rabbit hole. Okay.
Yes, you do.
So, some people can't tolerate them. It's a whole thing, guys. Okay. Some people can't tolerate them yet. So I don't advise everyone to go on probiotics because people who are super high histamine cannot tolerate probiotics yet. So it's not for everybody. Okay. If you need more help, seek more help. But in general, if we have a good baseline and we're overall healthy and we can tolerate probiotics, don't be a creature of habit. You have to diversify it. You have to switch it up. So, I cherry pick from supplement companies all the time, but even for myself, I have like 3 that I just rotate through, one month, one the next month, one the third month. And they're not, if you look at the back of your probiotic bottle, there's a bunch of strains of the good bacteria that's listed on there. And they might not differ 100%, but you want 3 or 4 options in those bottles that differ a little bit. So you're introducing new strains of the good bacteria. Also, spore base is really good. You have to be careful. Not everyone can have spore base. But the spore-based probiotics like Saccharomyces boulardii, they're a little bit stronger. And so they can, when we ingest them, they can withstand the acidity of the stomach, the acid of the stomach, and make it to the small intestine, where then they can release something called endotoxins, which is what we want. We want them to get rid of the bad guys. So something like a spore-based probiotic is better for killing bad guys off than necessarily replenishing good guys.
Yeah, so they're the SEALs and they're the special forces team.
Yeah. So I go in and out of it every once in a while just to maintain gut health. But in terms of just your traditional probiotic, rotate. Or if you're someone who doesn't like to supplement, who wants it from food sources, then obviously your fermented foods.
Mm-hmm.
That's another issue with high histamine humans, which we'll talk about some other time.
Episode.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to the Discovery Doc podcast. Remember, the path to optimal health takes knowledge, insights, and action. Keep seeking knowledge with us, and let's transform our health narratives together. Stay healthy, stay informed, and we'll connect with you again soon in our next episode. Until then, take care and continue piecing together your own health puzzle. Concerned about toxins lurking in your everyday products? It's time to make a switch to safer, healthier alternatives. Follow the Discovery Doc on social media to empower your wellness journey with expert tips, product recommendations, and valuable insights for a non-toxic lifestyle. Worried about the impact of harmful chemicals on your health? Struggle no more. Our social media platforms offer reliable guidance and support for making informed decisions about the products you use daily. Engage with our community, ask questions, and stay updated on the latest trends in sustainable living. Ready to transform your life? Join our collective waitlist and be the first to experience our upcoming community, filled with like-minded individuals on a similar path to wellness. At the Discovery Doc, we believe in creating a healthier and safer environment for you and your loved ones. Follow us at the Discovery Doc on all platforms today and embrace the journey towards a happier, non-toxic lifestyle. As we follow the treasure map to better health and wellness, let's pause to unravel a brief disclaimer. The information shared on this podcast is for general information and entertainment purposes only. While we, your Discovery Doc team, are here to help guide you through uncharted waters, we're not here to replace your doctor or healthcare provider. Think of us as your trusty first mates, deciphering the secrets of health knowledge together. Always consult with a qualified medical professional before digging up any action based on the content of this podcast. Just like the mysterious symbols on a pirate's map, this disclaimer may change from time to time, so be sure to check back for updates. Stay healthy, stay curious, and keep exploring the islands of wellness with the Discovery Doc.